Everyone is welcome here, it's time to make new friends. Aquavide Uskava, fill your Glencairn. Share a dram with the spirit of Edmonton. Sluncha!
Sluncha! And good evening, Whiskey Brothers, Whiskey Sisters, Whiskey Friends, and welcome to episode 77 of the Canadian Whisky Journey's Whiskey Review. I'm Dolph. I'm the Canadian creator of the Canadian Whisky Journey, president of the Alberta Scotch Society, and your host tonight. And we're continuing our Canadian Whisky Journey with this one right here, Odd Societies. And I love these guys. Let's look at it. You got to get a good one. It's the Odd Societies Community. This is the double IPA. They have an IPA as well. And as some of you may know, I'm going to give you a picture right here of Gordon and the Victoria Whiskey Festival was just this last weekend. And you might also know that I poured for Gordon and Odd Society, makers of fine spirits, last year. And last year's must-have whiskey was this one right there. So if you were adventurous and you were there, and a lot of people were, they went for this, the Wild Thing, mushroom whiskey. And I reviewed this exactly 1 year ago today. That's the one. This year's whiskey for the adventurous and the happy people was that one right there, the double IPA. Now I need to set the stage. So when whiskey lovers come to us at our booth in the banquet hall, we would ask them if they're in a traditional mood. If they're in a traditional mood, we gave them Commodore. If they're in a spicy mood, we gave them Prospector Rye. If they're in a sweet mood, and a lot of them were, this was really popular, we gave them the barrel-aged maple. And if they're a beer lover, we gave them the IPA and the double IPA. And if they have a Millennium bottle, like a lot of us do, trying to get that perfect blend with the bits from all of our other whiskeys that we've ended, we gave them Boneyard. And if they like peat, they got this one right here, this year's Robbie Burns bottle. And what's cool about this one, just like, and we'll talk about it a bit, but in BC, they have to use 100% BC products to get the tax breaks, right? So what Gordon does, mad scientist Gordon, he puts peat in the gin basket, so it's not part of that. You can use the gin basket. Botanicals don't have to be local. And he infuses Bard's peated malt into his single malt. And this one, it's fantastic. And that's the one he gave me as a gift as I went. I bought the other. And this helped us because you talk about, you have a table of 7 whiskeys. What do you want to do? What are you in the mood for? This really helped us out trying to figure out what we should do for them that night. So as a home brewer myself, though, giving them the IPA and the double IPA made me happiest, essentially, because you get to geek out on 2 fronts, the beer and the whiskey. So both of these, the IPA and the double IPA, come from the same rendition of, and I'll read it, Balmer Brewing's Pacific Northwest IPA beer. So it's made from Centennial, Chinook, and Cascade hops. But as he did with the malt previously, with the Robbie Burns one, he has cashmere hops inside the gin basket for that extra oomph for the double IPA. And not just that, he ups the level, or the boozy level, the alcohol, the ABV, up to 50%. And it made something that just went off really, really well. So if you have a chance, I don't know how many of you might have that out there, but we're going in right now to talk about this. And I had quite a bit that night. It's funny, Victoria Whiskey Festival, you can't go to other booths to have drinks, but you can at your own booth, which is a little bit different from here in Alberta. But so I tried this with people quite a bit. So on the nose, hops, go figure. But it's effervescent. It's fresh to the point that it's almost gin-like, right? But the first ones coming off is the resin and the pine notes, and this dominates. Even a half an hour after I've poured this, it still dominates the nose, and that makes me happy. That makes sense with the Pacific Northwest IPA. But I thought that the cashmere hops would kind of come out first, and they don't. It's these hops, the resin and the pine that come first, and then it's the sweet malt that comes in after that, and then the end, blending into everything, is the lemon, the lime, and the I think I don't know if I get it now, but before I was thinking the fuzzy peaches candy. That's what I was getting, and that was the nose, and it's delightful. It's fresh. So I would love this. I liked it all the time, but in the summer in a tall drink, I think this would be just fantastic. So on the palate, great mouthfeel. The 50% helps with this. He doesn't color or chill filter, which is nice with this. So that helps with mouthfeel. And of course, the hops again. So you're coming back to the hops. But pine, the first flavor is the lemon lime now. Yeah, I'm sticking with fuzzy peaches. Not so much the nose, that was more the palate. So it's coming out on the palate. Yeah, lemon lime first. Maybe a bit of the pine with piney fuzzy peaches. And then it's sweet. Yeah, the sweetness comes in right in there too. Which is just about what I'm going to say on the finish. But let's do one more so I can do this and do the finish. Okay. Almost sweet coming through, like the hint of sweet's almost there, but it's floral before that. Then it goes to the sweet. I think it's heat after it's sweet. I'm going to do that again. Yeah. So floral to the sweet. Hint of heat of it, but it goes back to the floral, so that the heat comes in and then goes out, and then you're finishing with the floral and the hops and the citrus. I'm not sure if it's the pine or this or the lemon. That's kind of the last flavor there at the very end. Regardless, 375 ml bottle, roughly $40-45, depends where you get it, and where you are going to get it is at the indie stores there. And here's the indie store that kind of took over the show at the Victoria Whiskey Festival. So the Strath. And if you look in the front, which I thought was really cool, because you look around Victoria, that's Odd Society Spirits. The whole front is Odd Society Spirits. So they did that for them, and they're there all month. So I guess they display someone different every month. And this is the first of the years. And you can see the barrel heads that are painted, which is kind of synonymous with their group. They're fantastic. You see the Commodore, you see you see them all. I can't zoom in too much. But that's it. It's fun. It was great. And when you go to Victoria, you come out with favorites. Last year, it was this one for me. And I was pouring it and I was talking about it all night, which might explain why it became my favorite. And this one, I brought people into this, tried to convince them to have it. Like, do you drink beer? Good. Do you drink IPA? Oh, you're going to love it. And then they came in and I do the IPA with the double IPA, and we'd spend some time over it. And I really enjoyed it. So that's it. And we had other whiskeys there, which were fantastic. If you can ever go, you should go. But that's it. That's it for me tonight. Next week, hopefully we go to Last Straw, get that in. That was supposed to be this week, but it all got turned around. So Last Straw next week, and we'll be happy. And I'll tell you about all the awards they got too. So Last Straw did really well at the awards, the Canadian Whisky Awards set. Have a fantastic night once and all. And if you're an Edmonton Oilers fan, you're going for 14 tonight. So good luck with that. Have a fantastic night. Sláinte, everybody. Cheers.